Hi, good people. Happy Thursday. Thankful Thursday. That's every Thursday. I try to do something on my social media, on my Facebook page about being thankful. So today, I posted affirmations. There's a little, you can find them anywhere. Some are better than others, but affirmations. Well, first off, hi, I'm Sherry. You might know me from such videos as mind control, advanced satellite broadcasting, advanced technology, and things like that. And I still do those videos. Those are free and valuable information for you, and those are on my channel as well. But these videos that I'm doing are personal vlogs type of videos, so that's where I'm focused. I'm talking more about my personal experience being a targeted individual and being involved in an organized stalking program. Okay, so that's what you're going to find here, and it's a little bit more free-flowing. Usually I follow a script, and which is well when you're trying to, which works well if you're trying to convey important information, like things like advanced satellite-based technology and all the ups and downs that go with it, and all the ins and outs, and all the, science jargon, and all that, to kind of, that's big content, that's detailed information. So I follow a script when I do those videos, but these are my personal vlogs, so I can kind of do it more freestyle. I still write a little bit down, but I freestyle a lot of it. This is it. So anyways, good morning to you. I hope you guys are having a great day. My experience, I'm trying to keep it positive, even though I'm going through such a weird, traumatizing experience. But I read some good things. I got some positive input from podcasts, and from, engaging with other people who are targeted, or who know about the whole targeting issue, that we have here in the world. I would say the United States, but it's a worldwide issue. Okay, so and the message that I got, and that was encouraging to me, was to still be positive and to still keep on, and that's what we have to do. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, being resilient here. So yeah, I did my morning routine today. My morning routine is, I usually get up and try to listen to a sermon of some type. Usually I've been studying the Bible for a while with a good group of people, so I can kind of tell which sermons are on point and which ones I kind of need to steer away from. So there's some really good ones. There's some good Christian content available on YouTube videos, so check them out. Let's see. So I do that, then I listen to affirmations. Affirmations are when you say the I am phrases. I am kind, I am nice, I am loving, I am intelligent, I am funny. I am statements. That way you're training your brain to, when you're saying them out loud, you're training your brain to hear them, so that even when you're not saying them out loud, your brain can subconsciously pull them up. Which is also how mind control works. And if somebody wants to do that, they can program subliminal messaging into you. So the idea with I am affirmations is that you're programming your own positive messages into your own brain. Okay? So, and it works. Okay? It's like a tape that you want to, even when you forget that it's on, you want it to be playing positive messages. So I do that every morning. I could focus a little bit more when I'm doing it, because I'm kind of usually trying to get to the next thing. But I'm going to focus a little bit more on that. I also try to regulate my frequencies in the morning as part of my routine. We know we're flesh and blood and bones, but we're also frequencies, which means that each organ, each body part vibrates on a frequency. Okay, and with that, that we can control that. That's also how a lot of this mind control, advanced satellite-based technology works, is by harnessing into our frequencies. So yes, the human brain and body operates on them. Not just, we're energy. And I don't mean it like in a hippie, we're energy, man. Like, no, like literally your organ vibrates at a number. Each organ, okay? Your whole body vibrates at a specific hertz number, okay? They can do surgeries now using ultrasound frequencies. No knife, no scalpel ever touches your head, but they can do major brain surgery and remove things like tumors without ever touching you with an instrument. The instrument that they use is ultrasound frequencies. It's called the virtual knife. We've talked about this before. But anyways, I digress. That's my morning routine. I did that. I got up about, 8 o'clock, which I would have liked to have been up a lot sooner. However, the Moonlight Monsters struck again. Oh yeah, the Moonlight Monsters. These are the part of the people that are involved in my organized stalking. And as I told you before, they come to my residence. I live in an apartment. They go to the empty office space below me, and which is also a church. Funny that, but I was always taught that churches can be churches of, of Christ and Jehovah, or churches can be churches full of demons. I don't know. Maybe it's not the church's fault. It's just an office space. But church on Sundays and Tuesdays, and organized stalking using advanced satellite-based technology at night. Also, pretty sure sexual assaults. Okay, so that was we're going to hold off on the sexual assault part. I don't want to get too intricate in details in case this comes up later, which I have a feeling it will. Okay, but yeah, so the office space below me is supposed to be empty. However, it's funny too, because last night as I was getting tired, I tried to stay up as long as I could, and it was about 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, and I said, that's it. I already told you, we here in the Midwest, we have limited amount of sunlight. So you want to enjoy it, and when you sleep in, like, look at it's already 1 o'clock, 1:30, and you're behind. I feel like you only get a certain amount and you want to utilize it. And I'm not a night person. The night shift, that's fine for things like medical or, law enforcement, things where you have to be up at night. But if you don't have to, probably the best thing for the human body and the circadian rhythm cycle or circadian cycle, the natural brain's um, effectiveness, you know, with the sunlight. Your body works with the sunlight because that's how we're made. Be up during the day, sleep at night. Again, some professions and some people, it's all your preference. But personally, I like to go to sleep early and get up rather early. I get the most out of the day that way. So, but not with the Moonlight Monsters. They're perverts. They like to be up late, right? And not as soon as I had gotten ready, and laid down 3:30, almost 4 o'clock in the morning, I hear a car pull up in the parking lot. Then shortly, about 15 minutes after that, I hear him downstairs below me, moving around, screwing stuff in the ceilings. I could have, I actually, I went down there to check because I thought, well, maybe it's an animal or something, or maybe it's these moonlight stalkers, right? These organized stalking. So I went down, and of course, nobody answered. When minutes before, I can hear you down there, but you're not answering. What a cowardly, cowardly crime. So, had to go through all that. They were running the machine. It was buzzing. Could feel it. Again, target is definitely the head area. So something with the brain. It's obviously, an electronic weapon that targets the mind. And my whole body, too, was buzzing. Woke up about 7:30. Brain and body buzzing. Like I was lit up. I'm sure if I had an EMF meter, one of those things where you can tell what your frequency is at. It's, for humans, it's supposed to be at a set level for optimum homeostasis. When you're feeling good. If you have a fever, or if you're sick, or if you have cancer, your numbers are going to be off. But there's a general number for humans that our frequency is supposed to be set at, our station, right? Just like a radio station. It's set at the right numbers to get the best broadcast, okay? Same thing with the human brain and body, right? The human organism. We are biochemical, and we have a certain we have a certain frequency that we operate best on. Well, mine was all off, I'm sure, because I felt it. I was buzzing. I was freaking electrified this morning from the Moonlight Monsters. So I go and I take I take the animal out to go use the bathroom, right? And neighbor right there at the same time. Oh, hi, neighbor. Hi. What are you doing up at exactly? I mean, these are coincidences, right? If it would happen once in a while, because sometimes you are going to enter and leave at the same time, but every day, all day, every morning, it's. I digress. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. I can talk about this rather lightly because I've been going through it for so long, but I do notice there's an increase in the brazenness of it and of the violence levels and the sexual assault. I actually believe it has transformed into a trafficking situation that I need to get out of. I am actually fearful for my life and for those around me. Um, I do have friends and family. I have a roommate situation. I'm fearful, that they intimidate that person into silence, okay? Or through, I don't think that person, I'm not going to comment on it too much, but usually when the perps are trying to convert somebody or get them to not say anything, they do it two ways. They do it with bribery, right? So first, they're going to offer you money. And a lot of people, well, some people will go for the money, especially if they need it. But if they can't get it through the money, through bribing you, then they'll excuse me, then they'll do it through threats of bodily harm, or maybe slander your name or smear your name or whatever. They'll threaten you with something. Okay, usually with bodily harm or death. You know, we're gonna beat your butt, right? We're gonna hurt you or kill you or those you love. So yeah, this has turned into a very scary situation, which is part of the reason I am doing these vlogs as well, because if something were to happen to me, again, I'm not self-prophesying that. I'm just kind of seeing the direction this is going, and I'm feeling some type of way about it. Interesting thing, the neighborhood we live in is actually a decent neighborhood. However, we happen to live on one of the blocks that has one of the highest crime rates. There was a house down the street, maybe 5 houses down, that was arrested for sex trafficking ring. They were bringing girls up from the Chicagoland area in a van, locked, pulling them up to this house. This house had high wooden fence with cameras, surveillance cameras, so they could see who was coming and going. The van would pull in, pull up to the door. The girls and guys, but mostly girls and young, a lot of them young, mixed ages. Well, you know, in trafficking, usually it's, you know, a younger crowd. They get the most for their, people are real despicable. Anyways, I digress. They're all different sexes and ages, but you understand there's a certain preferred. Okay, so anyways, they were pulling the van up, and these girls were getting out into the yard. Okay, remember, the yard is surrounded by a high wooden fence, and I'm talking high, like 8 feet. Okay, maybe 7 feet, but still high enough to where you can't see in there. And that's the whole point, right? Then they had surveillance cameras. The girls would go into the house, and they would have, I suppose, I heard, and this was through the neighborhood block watch meeting, so I heard it from the horse's mouth, that they had a screen. Obviously, this is a computer era we live in, and they would show the potential Johns, hey, these are the girls we have available, girls, guys, here's our product, which one would you like? And would send the girls out. And then sometimes the girls and guys were allowed to come, you know, to leave and get food from the local restaurants. So apparently something was, they were able to reach out for help that way, you know. But I mean, these are human trafficking, sex trafficking is not like prostitution. Okay, so I think maybe everybody doesn't understand. I've never been a part of that. I've been blessed. I've always had a job since I was 14 years old, a paper route, McDonald's, dry cleaner, Taco Bell. You know, I worked quite a few places. I've worked consistently. So thank God in heavens, you know, because when you grow up in a poverty area and everything, there's a risk for that. There's predators in the community. All right, but I digress. I was saying this community, this neighborhood is pretty decent, but this block happens to be a high crime area. So that house was busted in a big sex trafficking sting. Okay, and there's another house down yonder, maybe a block more away, and there's a man who lives there, and I happen to know him because he used to live in our old neighborhood, and everybody referred to him that he was a pimp. I don't know because I never got to know him on that level, but I know that it appeared to be correct. Okay, I don't know how you can tell, but you can just tell. You can tell how some men and women, you know, you can tell somebody that's trying to swindle you. It's like a used car salesman, you know what I mean? It's like you feel yucky, like you feel like they're trying to get one over on you. Can't stand those type of people. Get away from me. So that's why in my situation, this is rather frustrating, because things that would never go on when I'm awake and in my conscious mind, now they are trying to do with technology that can put you in an altered state. You know, I've explained that. There is a way to do it. Sadly, we've reached that point. Okay, and this is not just a theory. Again, this is in practice. This is being done. There's cases, documented cases of it, and they're not my records. They're actually government records, medical records, research. You know, that this is in practice, that it's a capability, not a possibility, not a theory, a capability and a reality and a practice. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen out there, we like to be single and think that we're safe, and we go to sleep at night in our own homes, and we lock our doors, and we keep dangerous people away from us, and we don't hang with the crowd. You know, we're drug-free, smoke-free. We try to eat a healthy diet. We exercise. We fill our minds with good things. We have good people around us, or no people. You can't have good people, and probably better to have no people, but to an extent, because you need people for support as well. But yeah. This is a new crime that's being done. I'm going to do a whole nother video on it, though. It's going to be called Broadcast Pimping. That's right, broadcast pimping. That means they are using the power of advanced satellite-based technology, the broadcast, to broadcast into the human brain. Easier done than you would think. And they're using this to put people in altered states of consciousness, just like they do when they're doing surgeries. And after they do this, then if you live alone and you're single, they can enter the premises and sexually assault you or do experimentation on you. Okay, so obviously we explained the power pyramid. You know, this is what's going on, and they would obviously have to be in cahoots with somebody to provide this high level of equipment. And in my situation, when they're downstairs below, I know that they didn't break in, okay, because then I could just call the cops. No, somebody gave them the keys to be there, the people that own the building. Right? I mean, logically, that would only be the logical conclusion I could think of, unless it's like some type of black ops experiment where they, the people who are running the program made the people that own the building give them the keys, made them participate in this investigation or whatever it is. But I can tell you, it ain't no investigation. Every morning I wake up with my head buzzing and with my body buzzing. Okay. Um, Very scary. I was talking to a guy in the neighborhood. There's a couple of people around here. For some reason, okay, so it's a dangerous area. I'm going to tell you, there's four corners. There's a restaurant on two corners, okay, two Mexican restaurants. There's used to be a bar, an Italian bar called Mario's on the other corner, okay, but that's now a rehab facility, like I forget what they call them. But after people are learning to not use drugs and alcohol or abuse drugs and alcohol, then they go there and hang out and rehab. But really, what I've seen it is like people engaging in drug activity still. I'm not judging. I know, I'm not. I'm just saying that kind of brings the danger up, because when you have people who are vulnerable that are prone to abusing drugs and alcohol, then you have the predators like vultures who like to prey on those people. The drug dealers, the pimps, the people that prey on those people who are vulnerable. You have them right alongside. So this is not the safest of areas. There's a corner store. There's a barber shop. Both appear very sketchy. Very sketchy. I want to put out a warning too, if you frequent those businesses, be careful, okay? Because the fact, I'll do the video later tonight about broadcast pimping. All they need to get is your brain signature. Sounds hard, right? Like, well, they can't get that. You'd be surprised how these markets are operating and how they can scan you in, and how you can end up getting harassed and or to the point of being assaulted and even worse, trafficked or murdered. Okay, off of this dangerous this dangerous phenomenon that's going on, and it's all courtesy of advanced satellite-based technology, just like this broadcast. That's how you're seeing this broadcast. This stuff is strong. It operates in the brain, in the body, and the environment. It runs everything. Okay, and the fact that the human brain can now be hacked into, very dangerous. So the neighborhood itself in general is okay, pretty decent. However, this particular block, high crime. High crime. Okay, beware. This is this is the bad. Oh, and then there's an Italian restaurant right next door to where the Italian bar used to be. So you got everything. You got your mafias. You got your gangsters. You got a lot of stuff going on here. I mind my business. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I'm not judging anybody who does, but I try to keep a clean lifestyle. That way, you keep those type of people away from you. That's why this is frustrating that they would come into my life when they were never invited. It's like the whole vampire thing. Like, don't you have to invite them in? And I never did. That's what's frustrating. But we're going to figure it out. They say silence is golden sometimes, right? Isn't there a song by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons? My mother named me after one of those songs. They loved the Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. They loved Italian guys. My mom and my aunts. For some reason. I don't know. And they're just waspy people. We're not Italian or anything like that, exotic. They're just regular white people, waspy, Protestant, whatever, But they loved Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. My mother named me Sherry after that song. Sherry Baby. Yeah. And my aunt named her daughter Candace off of the song Candy Girl by the same band, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. So, funny, hey? Yeah. Where's I going with that? All this brain blasting, right? It doesn't do good for your short-term memory. But thank goodness I have a vast area to pull from. Not saying that I'm real smart. I'm just saying there's a lot in there. So, so yeah, this neighborhood, this area, sketchy. Definitely, if I had to say it was involved in my organized stalking, I would definitely say so. Definitely. And they probably didn't even have to ask them twice. You know, some people, if you want them to like do something bad to somebody, you kind of have to like kind of cajole them into it. I think with that little, I don't know. There's a corner store around here. They have like 30 things for sale. It's not even like and most of it is alcohol and tobacco products and CBD stuff like that. It's okay. I'm not knocking it, but I mean, you know, they could add a little food or something. But I don't know. That's probably all with licensing and stuff. And I think they make, like I said, the neighborhood is kind of, these areas kind of sketchy with, you know, you have the rehab place and stuff. So I think a lot of their sales are based in alcohol and tobacco. And they do got good prices on their alcohol, you know. If you need like one of those little 16-ounce cans, you know, when you do socially, right? It's not illegal. It's good to have a little, you know, for each, to each his own. No judgment. Um, so, okay. The other day, we have like a little park area in this neighborhood. It's close to the gas station. And in that park area, I went Monday just to, I was walking the dog. And I like to go sit up there a little bit, you know, so you're not in the house. You know, when we live in this concrete jungle, especially we have a limited warm weather here in Wisconsin. Really, it gets cold, and it's cold for a long time and dark. Like, it can get really not fun. You know, you miss the warm days and the sunshine. So I try to enjoy them as much as I can. So anyways, I was sitting up at that little park area, and it's kind of a meeting area for the whole neighborhood. And again, there's a lot of people there that have substance abuse issues with alcohol and drugs. And they're nice people. They're just people. Remember, people first language. They're people who have drug and alcohol, or yeah, drug and alcohol abuse issues. They're still good people. They could be bad people, but just because they do drugs and alcohol doesn't make them bad. But mostly, most people are good. Okay. So anyways, I was up there and I was chit-chatting, you know, a couple of the people I recognize a little bit by face, and then I'm getting to know their names just a little bit. I try to keep, you know, I love people, but I keep them at, I have appropriate boundaries. Found that works best. Well, so anyways, there was one fellow up there, and, you know, pretty decent guy, and, you know, you could tell he liked to drink a lot, and he had, you know, he's talking about his girlfriend, and they had been together for a long time, and he seemed really excited because they were going to move out, and, you know, just, and he wasn't a perv. You could tell he really was into his girlfriend and stuff, and just, you know, he's just a cool dude, you know, and, I don't know, you know, he was drinking, and whatever. And then he asked, you know, if he could pet my brother's dog. And I usually don't let people pet the dogs. It's not mine. I don't. If he bites somebody, I don't want to be responsible. You know what I mean? Like, because I say you can pet him, but you're not petting me. You're petting him. You got to ask him if you can pet him, and he might, you know, feel funny. He might give off a funny vibe, and he messes around and nips you, and then it's awkward, you know. Or jumps. You know, he likes to jump too. He's in that jumping stage. I digress. So usually I don't let people pet the dog, but this guy, you know, he looked kind of sad, and he looked kind of, you know, he was homeless, and he just, you know, you could just tell he needed a good meal, and he needed, you know, he was a nice guy, but you know, like, just let him pet the damn dog, right? Okay, which I usually don't do. But I'm like, come on, Sherry, let him pet the dog. All right. So nice guy. Then another guy comes up there. I think he was like Arabian or something, or maybe or Indian, some type of, or Puerto Rican, some type of dark skinned person, something, some type of minority. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying. I'm just describing this. You know, like the girl had brown hair. Okay, what? That's how the woman had glasses. That's just the way of describing somebody. So, anyways, he was kind of darker skinned, and and I remember he wanted to pet the dog, and I felt bad for saying no. But the dog was acting up a little bit at that point, jumping, and I'm like, no, you know what? This is not okay. I was only doing it to this guy to be nice because he looks like he's down on his luck, but I didn't want to say that, you know. So I looked like a kind of like bitchy by not letting the other guy pet the dog. You know, like, oh, you let him pet the dog. You know, are you racist or something? No, no, just whatever. He understood. Then a couple other people came. We were, you know, just chit chatting a little bit. And yeah, then the guy left, and he left with the other guy, and the way he looked at me was kind of like, it was an odd look, like I wish I could have helped him type of look, like almost like he, I don't know, like maybe he didn't want to be going. You know, you ever have that friend, and you just kind of like, dang, you know, like go home, and I don't know. Just he left, and you know, bye. You know, I said bye. Nice to meet you. It's good seeing you. Got, you know, keep the faith. God loves us all. It'll all work out. And Of course, I got my own issues with this whole thing going on. I feel like my very life is threatened, you know. I mean, if somebody's trying to traffic you, what's the next logical? That's dangerous in of itself. And when I'm in an unconscious state, it's pretty dangerous. Well, again, you're going to ask, why don't I report it? Well, because I'm going to, but because this is orchestrated on a high level, I have to do it very, very carefully. I did go to the rape center once. Interesting story. And, they bring you in the back and do a pap smear on you. Okay, check everything out. Take swabs and whatnot. And I could tell with this organized stalking program, there was people there, like just men in the waiting room. You know what I mean? Like this was a sexual trauma center, and like it actually was at the emergency room, but in the back of it. So I'm like, when I got there, it wasn't even like a Saturday night or anything like that. It was like a odd day, like a Tuesday or something like that, during the week. And in the morning it was, so it shouldn't have been that busy. And it wasn't when I arrived. But as you know, with organized stalking, anywhere you go, they're going to box you in and, harass you. But I thought, well, goodness, maybe they'll leave me alone. This is important. No, because this program is despicable and deviant. So of course they want to know what, they're going to follow you there and see who you're telling on and see what's going on. And I kid you not, there was so many men in that waiting room. I mean, and I was getting some dirty looks from people I'm assuming were perps. And again, you can't just assume everybody's right, but I'm saying in this situation, I'm a target in an organized stalking program. So in my situation, yes, it is. In every situation, no, it's not. In this situation, it was. Okay? Pretty sure. Pretty sure. I'm a target on an organized stalking program. I was going to report a rape. You think they wouldn't? Why wouldn't they? Right? They follow you everywhere else. So I ignored it though. Whatever. I had to get my exam. I wanted to see, I was freaking out, felt violated, felt shameful, felt dirty, felt not good. So felt like crying, but you can't. When you cry, it's showing a weakness. Not that you can't do it with your loved ones and all that, but obviously if somebody's targeting you and they're wanting to hurt you, you don't want to give them the satisfaction of seeing you hurt, because that's just going to egg it on more, right? Some people get a kick out of fear. It like makes them. It's like giving them gas. So I don't give gas to that situation. It's like fear. Wasn't that like on a movie or something? He's like, I smell your fear. And like he got more, agitated or more emboldened to attack. I forget what movie it was, but yeah. So anyways, I was going to get my pap smear with the nurse, and we went down the hallway to one of the back rooms where she could do the exam. And I'm not kidding you. It was a lady with a cleaning cart, a black lady. Doesn't matter. Again, I'm just describing, okay? She wasn't a white lady. She wasn't Mexican. She was black. Or maybe a black Puerto Rican or a black Cuban or something. But, black. Was, African. And so she takes her little cleaning cart and she's trying to clean the back room. And the nurse is like, what are you doing back here? Nobody's ever comes back here. It's already been cleaned today. Like twice. And it did. It looked clean. And the lady's just coming back there with us. The sexual assault trauma center. I'm here to get a freaking pap smear because I have every reason to believe I'm raped. I have a strange fluid dripping out of my vaginal area, and I don't have a boyfriend or a husband, so I shouldn't have fluid dripping out of my vaginal area, and I'm not a virgin, so I know what's up. It's not that I don't know what it is. Oh, I know what it is. But not having a sexual partner or boyfriend in 3 years, there should be no fluid dripping from my area, my vaginal area, when I went to sleep at night. Sorry. So, but yeah, this miscellaneous little cleaning lady, perp, was trying to eavesdrop, trying and being intimidating. They just want to show you their presence. It reminded me of like when those cities or like those blocks, those neighborhoods get taken over by like, by mobs, mafias, Russian mobs or black gangsters, or you know what I mean? Like some neighborhood, instead of like the police running the show, like they run the show. You know what I mean? Like there's a government underneath the government. That's what it reminded me of. And I'm like, oh no, lady, this is not happening. Like you can, and the nurse had to shoo her out of there. And I just remember looking at her like, okay, be calm. But what are you doing? What do you want? You're not threatening me out of, you know what I mean? It felt like witness intimidation, like threatening by her presence. Like I wasn't going to say anything. So like I was saying, silence is golden, but not in every situation. Not when you've been raped. And not now when I'm still being stalked in an organized fashion. I can't be silent anymore. It's detrimental now at this point. And if something happens, I want this to be a learning experience for other people who go through the same thing. So you can catch it earlier than I did and nip it in the bud, so this doesn't evolve into this much of a problem. I mean, you can't help it. This is happening to a lot of people, and it's set up like this. You're against a lot of powers, you know, a lot of power. So it is hard to fight, but I'm doing my best. Silence is not golden at this point. I think it's time to sound the alarm, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm sharing my story, okay? Because they're doing this to other people. They're not just targeting one person in a city full of, thousands of people. Excuse me, there's a little gnat. There really is a gnat. A fruit fly. I told you I eat a lot of fruit, so sometimes I get fruit flies. Not a lot, just like one little lone ranger, and I'm gonna take care of him or her when I when I see them again. The gnat, the fruit fly that's in the house. Okay. So yeah, silence is not golden at this point. I have to stick up and say something, and it will help others in case you're going through this, or in case you know somebody who's going through this. Because with these direct energy weapons, it can be done so covertly now. The criminals think they're so hilarious. They think they're so ingenious that they can just do this, and it is very violating. I go to sleep at night. I'm single. I'm choosing to be single. I want to be left alone. My brain, my body, me. Leave me alone. So I'm going to report this, but again, before I can, I have to do it in the correct way. Otherwise, I can risk not being effective when I report it, and I have to be effective. There's no room for this to, such a serious subject matter. You can't leave it to chance. Just gonna look at my notes here and see what else. I think that was it. Like I said, this is free flowing. So yeah, our parking lot at night, like I said, we're like 3 doors down from the sex trafficking house that was shut down supposedly. Then the block down from there's the guy that's a known pimp. Okay, and our parking lot at night is pitch black. This building is attached. There's like 4 businesses in here, all sketchy ones. I'm sorry, mostly sketchy ones. People that would join in on something like a broadcast pimping, raping somebody under the that's in an altered state. They would. They'd make money off of it, maybe film it, which I want to just shout out here. If any of you ever see me being filmed in a sexual matter, if I'm in some type of film and I'm not aware and you're thinking no, please let me know, and please contact the local police or the Department of Justice or the freaking FBI. Call somebody, because it's not me. I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a sexual partner, and I don't see one in sight. So, no, when I go to sleep at night, it's by myself. Unless somebody is forcing me. Which, in this day and age, again, it's possible. So why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't a criminal, gangster, pimp, drug-selling, human trafficking person, why wouldn't they use this on people? Why wouldn't they? You got to think like a criminal. You got to think like a serpent. Even though you're not one, you got to be able to think on that level. They want to make money. They want to hurt. They're not filled with good things. They're filled with scheming. You know how we think of good things to do with our day? Okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to, walk the animal. I'm going to try to help others. I'm going to, do some art. I'm going to, read something that's going to enrich me. These people don't think on that level. Some people think of, how can I hurt the next person? How can I come up? They want to take advantage. So, yeah, I think that's enough. I don't want to keep blabbing here. Sketchy, though. Sketchy. But it's fine. The true God still blesses me. I did my morning routine. Oh, before I leave off, the story about that guy, right? The one, rewind. Remember the guy I was telling you? The one I met up at the one I see up at the little park thing? Him, and there's other people, men and women. A lot of them have substance abuse issues, okay? People with substance abuse issues, people first. Seen him, chatted with him and another guy. I actually know the other guy better because I know him from my old apartment building because I used to date a girl there. So I talked to him more because I know him more, but the other guy was there too, so we were chatting as well. And I seen the guy leaving. He had a funny look on his face, and I thought, I'm so sorry. He looked like he needed help, but I didn't know what to do to help him. I didn't have any money. I would have gave him money. I've done that before, and people have done that for me. I would just, I not to talk or anything, but I pulled out a roll of my laundry quarters and gave them to somebody once. Then I didn't have my dang laundry quarters, but obviously the girl was homeless and she looked like she was prostituting, so she needed it more than I did. I hope somebody would do that for me if I ever needed, some money, right? Got to help each other out. I don't know what she was going to spend it on. I would have spent it on food. I've always worked, so I don't, but she was in a hard place. So why not help? We're supposed to. And I probably shouldn't even mention it, but I'm just saying that's do unto others as you would have others do unto you. But so this guy looked like he needed help, but I didn't have any money to give him. I don't have any money myself right now, so I didn't know what to do. So and he was a dude, and he was leaving with that other guy, and I waved bye. We all said our goodbyes, and just a funny look on his face. It's funny. And like I said, my situation here, fearing for my safety and whatnot, against this trafficking, against these, against this sketchy area, against, this program. We're all kind of in the same boat. So long story short, that guy, I talked to him Monday, and he was dead in front of our local high school on Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. I don't know what Tuesday's date was. What was it? Today is the 12th, Thursday. Wednesday was the 10th, yeah. Yep. It was all in the news and everything. I mean, I didn't know him well at all. I think that was the first or second time I'd ever seen his face, but he just seemed like a nice guy. And he was my same age, So I was like, oh, wow, you're 42. 40, it's like when you get over the hill and it's just like a different age, So when you see other 40-year-olds, I think it's kind of like how dogs feel like when they see, like, oh, my goodness, another one of me, or how you feel like, it was interesting. And he had a girlfriend and stuff, so, and he wasn't, he wasn't flirtatious or anything like that, just normal, nice guy. And, talked to him Monday, and he was dead on Tuesday in front of the high school, 7 o'clock in the morning. So, I don't know. This whole area is just freaking me out, even to be here. I feel, some areas just don't feel safe and don't feel right, Mm. We just had a block party the other day, I think, because they're trying to like make it safer because they realize this is a hot spot in the city, and the city itself is actually they're trying to redesign it and make it more fun. There's a lot of fun things going on in this little part of town. So, but this area, I wish they would work on it because it is very very like sketchy. I digress. Woke up, my head buzzing, my body buzzing. That's what's going on. Oh yeah, I also have this little weird thing going on. Just ignore how my arm looks, but I have it. You see that bruise? See that? I gained a little weight, and my arm looks funny at this angle. I used to have nice little skinny arms. They still are okay, but when you gain a little weight, I gotta look extra. Whatever, I digress. So this angle it looks funny, like, but look, that is a bruise. See that? Now, you don't know me, but I don't bruise easily. I'm not elderly. Most people don't. I don't take blood clotting medications or, I don't have diabetes or anything like that. Blood sugar issues, but, not where I don't have to take insulin or anything. So, like, why do I have a bruise right there? What is that? It looks like a pressure bruise, right? As if, like, somebody's thumb. Like, that's what it looks like, right? Like, if somebody wasn't there when I went to sleep and I wasn't, nobody touched me when I was awake. How does that just random bruise come up? And I've had other ones, and I've taken pictures of them. They're on my social media. So, very odd, especially considering everything that's going on. So yeah, I'm still working on it, guys. I got a whole day today for you TIs out there. I'm going to look for some answers. I'm going to scour like I have not scoured before, and I rather enjoy research, so this is not, it's not a bad thing. I would rather be doing other things, like maybe, trying to sign up on a dating site or something, or going for a walk, or going to the farmer's market, or going shopping, or going to have ice cream, or visiting with friends. But I can't do that right now because my life is being murdered and I'm at risk for also being literally murdered. So I have to do research and find out who I can reach out to for help with this targeting program. And they really are brazen about it, and think that they should get away with it. They feel that they have the right to target people, and that is not okay. That's not okay. All right. And actually, too, I heard something interesting. I don't know if I should mention it, but you know, for you TIs out there, you need to hear this. Do you know that there is a way that when you've been the victim of a crime, that you can get monetary compensation, like up to $4,000 or even more than that? I think, like, we're talking big crimes, you know, like in my situation, being a you know, sexually assaulted and trafficked, you know, which is what I've, you know, I'm gonna be able to prove this, but you know, of course that's what they do. But there is monetary compensation for that. So, which makes sense. I appreciate that, because being in this targeting program has destroyed a lot of things. My income, for one. I would even be living, you know, well, I get it doesn't matter where you live. You could, there was, like I told the story of Dr. John Hall, his fiance lived in a nice area of condominiums and stuff, and they, you know, they still get in. So it doesn't matter where you're at, I guess, they can still get to you. And that was a situation where she was also being drugged and raped because the group was targeting him and targeting her by proxy. And yeah, and the guy who ran the PI group was an ex-FBI agent. So, and he had all his family and friends working for him and stuff, and they were doing things. They had access to advanced satellite-based technology because he used to be in the FBI. So, and they give people like that. This is called contract weapons. You know, these are weapons of war, and they give them out to people on contract to use them as they want, to collect the data off of them. Okay, here's this this machine that, and I gave you the patents the other day. Here's this machine that makes somebody fall asleep. Use it on somebody. Tell us how it works. How long did they stay asleep for? Did they have any memory of the incident after? You know, they're collecting data, because this is all what this is for, the agenda for, and don't make me say it, you know what it's for, okay? It's for control of humanity, okay? I would say society, but it's, yeah, humanity. It's for control, you know, to watch somebody, to have access to them, to be able to put them in an altered state of consciousness, to be able to sexually assault them, to be able to, you know, have them controlled to do things and not have them have memory of it. What do you call that? That's control, okay? And that says these weapons are available, and these criminal groups are getting a hold of them and using them. So, silence is golden. Silence is golden. But not in this situation. Not any longer. No, silence is actually, it's dangerous to be silent at this point. And I just want to say this, and I'll go. I talk too much, you know, I do. There's just so much information. I haven't figured out how to edit yet, so all my videos are long because I could like chop a lot of stuff off. I'm sorry. I'll figure out how to edit. If anybody out there knows how to edit and want to give me a hand, you know, message me, please. If not, that's fine. I'll figure it out. Don't cry for me, Argentina. That's fine. If you do, though, please. I need to learn how to edit. I wanted to say this, and I'll leave off. There is an energy. We're all obviously energy, and I don't mean it in a hippie way. We're energy. Like, literally, we're energy at a frequency, at a set number. They're doing surgeries with it. That's how this whole, you know, we just talked about. That's how these weapons are being used. That's how medicine and science, that's how it is. It's true. Our organs, our whole body vibrates on frequencies. It's supposed to be at a set point for optimal homeostasis. Okay, just like your temperature, just like your blood pressure, all those stats, all those readings, your vital signs, your temperature, your pulse, your blood pressure, your heart rate, all that, that's supposed to be at a certain amount for, you know, optimal homeostasis. Okay, so our energy, we're very much energy beings, like in a regular way. So do you feel the energy that's going on right now? There's an energy started. There's a knowledge being spread, and there's energy starting. You can feel it, right? I'm not talking like a hippie. I'm talking for real. Tap into it. You feel this energy. We're going to need that because we're coming up against some hard times. 5G's coming out. Okay? It's already, you see these criminals, how they're doing, and it's already dangerous. 5G, they're going to get worse. They're not going to have to hide it. And like I said, in my situation, I can see how they're becoming more brazen with it. And I know there's other victims. So if you are, contact me. You can comment, or you can look on my Facebook page. All right? So that's it. I'm going to do a video separately on broadcast pimping. La-di-da, right? Pervert heaven, pervert paradise, not a gangster's paradise, a pervert's paradise. I'm going to do a video on that just to explain it so that you know what it is and you know the signs and the symptoms and how you can avoid being put at risk for being added onto this list, of remote neural monitoring, where they have access to you and they can log into you, and you can be possibly at risk for broadcast pimping. They don't always break in and actually physically, assault you, but they can also just hack into you. They can also just push the broadcast in and harm you physically and mentally with that. Okay, so that's something to talk about. And let me see what else. That's it for now. So that video is going to come out later. I thank you guys for listening. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Remember the spiel. Do your research. Okay, do your research on organized stalking and targeted individuals and energy weapons, direct energy weapons, DEWs for short, like Mountain Dew, Honeydew. Okay, but direct energy weapons. They are available for sale and are being used. Do your research. God loves us. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening to my vlog. Okay, thanks. Bye.